The feeling of a clutter-free space is so incredible. It is worth all the effort it takes to actually achieve it. Today, I want to give you 20 things that you can declutter right this second to get yourself going or to get yourself out of a decluttering rut. Hello guys, I am Candace and I am here helping you simplify, minimize, organize your space so that your time is yours again and you have a little bit less stress, which I think we all want. So for the 20 items that we're going to talk about today, I recommend just grabbing like a hamper or a garbage bag, something that you can put these items into. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Uncomfortable shoes, either for yourself or ones that maybe your kids have complained about or that you've noticed have given them little blisters. They can go. Although they might make you uncomfortable, they might work great for someone else. So these can be donated like right now. Any toy that is broken or driving you crazy. I know some of these types of things are no fun to have around. We don't mind them, but if it's a toy that's been annoying you, go ahead and pass it on to a friend. And if it's broken, you can definitely get rid of it. Old pillows, you can get rid of these. Either decorative pillows that are just not your style anymore, maybe they're completely worn out, stained, whatever, past repair, or pillows that you guys are sleeping on. But we recently replaced ours and I'm so happy because the ones that we were sleeping on before were completely yellowed, stained, and they get kind of mushed down, you know? So it's really nice to grab some new ones. Old or broken electronics, cords, controllers, all of this. This is clearly something I need to go through, but seriously, this is just ridiculous. This is taking up an entire drawer. Some of these batteries are probably dead. So this is something you can definitely go through. I'm putting it on my list of things to do. Who out there can relate to me on the sock dilemma? Socks without matches, socks with holes, socks that nobody wears anymore because they're way too small or nobody likes. So go through your socks. This is a little bit of a tedious job. It's actually not my personal favorite. Being honest, I hate it. But socks can really pile up and start to take over your laundry room. So I recommend going through those. Old makeup. I used to be so guilty of holding on to makeup for a really long time, like way past its expiration date. But things like lipsticks, cream products, even moisturizers and mascaras can especially get old and actually cause like bacteria, little infections and stuff that's like really gross. So this is definitely an area that you can go through really quickly and just smell it. If it smells funky, even if it's not past its expiration, it has got to go. Going along with that is old nail polish. It can get really smelly. This is another one that like you don't even really think to smell your polish, but if it has a funky smell, it's gone. It's over. See if it's separated, looks really funky or smells really funky. If it does, kids art supplies. If there's anything old or little projects they've done that you know aren't gonna be worth keeping, then you can go ahead and get rid of them. Recently, I went through my house and got rid of rugs. Most of the rugs, in fact, I felt like were old and needed to be retired. So things like that can really bring your space down and make things feel a little bit, I don't know, not as clean if you've got filled up rugs, stained things that just cannot be repaired or fixed. So if you want to just go through and take a look at the rugs in your house, maybe there are a couple that you can actually get rid of. Old mugs. I have adored collecting mugs over the years, but I realized that I had way too many. It actually felt good to clear those out. So mugs that are seasonal are really good to get rid of, and mugs that you just don't really use anymore, you can always repurpose these and maybe do a little DIY candle project and fill the mug up with a candle and pass it on to a friend. That would be super cool. But otherwise, I say just have a few of your very favorites. Now is a really good time to go through kids' backpacks and actually get rid of old school papers. We're not going back to school this year, so if your kids have full backpacks, now's a great time to go through them and actually see if there are any treasures in there. I actually have found some really adorable things that I'm super happy that I didn't just like throw away in a big wad. It's definitely worth taking a few minutes to go through this and make sure that there's nothing you really want to keep. But most kids' backpacks, I think, are pretty full of garbage. Old paint cans. We have a couple of cans that we just saved a little bit in, just the bottom in case we need to do a little bit of touch up. Paint actually goes bad too. This is another one that you can kind of stir, smell if it's funky. it's too old. I wouldn't recommend using it, but definitely go through your paint cans. One thing that I am constantly forgetting to go through is my wallet. Old receipts, expired medical cards, things like that, but it only takes a second. And most receipts are online anyway now, so if you need to get them, you can pull them up in your email. So I don't even really think you need to hang on to receipts necessarily, unless it's like for a really big purchase, then I always love to have a backup. Did you know that a lot of animal shelters actually take your old used towels that have holes or maybe are stained can be passed on to a lot of local animal shelters. So if you have towels that you just don't want to use anymore for bathing for yourself or to use for rags for cleaning around the house, I would check into your local animal shelters. One of you actually told me that, and I really appreciate it because I think that is super, super cool. How many of you have gotten like a third of the way into a book and realized you are never gonna finish it because you're just not interested? Same thing goes with kids' books. If it's a book that your kids are totally done reading or they never really loved in the first place, it is time to pass it on. Burned out candles. I used to have so many half-burned candles in this cupboard. I actually went through my candles recently and realized that I had a ton of candles that just had a little tiny bit left. So I made a goal to get all of those burned through. I still enjoyed them, loved them, I didn't throw them away. And now I have a ton more space up in my cupboard. Another thing you can do is melt candles down and just kind of pour them one on top of the other as they harden or cool. And then you've actually consolidated all of your candles and you haven't wasted any of the wax. So that's another idea, or you can just do what I did and just burn them up one at a time. Chipped bowls, glasses, mugs, things like that, anything porcelain or ceramic. I actually recently had to get some new ones because so many of mine were chipped. Dingy baking sheets, muffin tins, baking pans, anything like that. You can actually pass these on to your kids and they make great magnet boards. It's always nice to have fresh ones in the kitchen to bake with. So if you've got any old ones, I say give them to your kids. How many of you have noticed that you usually gravitate towards the same purse or the same couple purses almost every single time you leave the house? Just keep the ones that you truly love to use, and the other ones can be passed on to either a friend, family, or a donation center. While you are still watching this video, you can actually leave me a comment. Let me know what is something in your house that I haven't mentioned that you feel like you can go through and pretty easily declutter right now. It may take 10 or 15 minutes to declutter, it may take 5 seconds, but I would love to add to the value of this video with your ideas and your input. Any old calendar or full notebook that you just don't need anymore. If there are a couple pages that you definitely want to hang on to, I say just take a picture with your phone. You can keep it there, you can print it out, or you can make yourself a little binder of all of the information that you still want to store. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe. I would love to have you join the Simply This Life tribe. Have a great day, everybody, and I will see you soon. Bye.